A lot of questions come around. Okay, now I want to be in this role or these kind of tracks. What are the different kind of skills required? So one is that hard skills, which is around valuation, analysis, modeling. Obviously, that is the core. One thing which I would say you should learn if you want to be in this field is accounting, right? Accounting is something which people take very lightly during their MBA program and their undergrad. But accounting is like what is Roman to English, what Devanagari is to Hindi. Unless you know accounting, it's very difficult for you to scale as an analyst, right? Especially when you're working on these deals. So accounting will be, let's say, simple things, something like, okay, what are the different linkages between three financial statements? So income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. What is flowing from where to where? If I move this number, what effect will this have on the balance sheet, on the income statement, on the cash flow, right? Now, it's very easy to make those linkages if you understand accounting very well, right? It took me initial 3 to 5 years of my career. I had to pick up accounting on the go, right? I did my undergrad in mathematics and finance, but I took couple of accounting courses, but not to the level which were required in the practical deal making, right? So usually it takes initial 2, 3 years in figuring that out because when you're working on different kind of models, different industries, that's when you start making different linkages, right? So on the technical side, okay, obviously with AI and everything, now you have a lot of help. Roughly 5 to 6 years ago, you had plugins, Cap IQ, Bloomberg, you could, or Thomson Reuters, which you use for data extraction. But now you also have different AI tools which are there with different investment banking firms, right? But that does not mean you don't need to know about modeling and accounting. Unless you understand accounting and modeling, it's like a black box. Every workbook is like a black box, and you don't know which number is leading to what. And you will not be able to answer any client questions when you go deeper. Generally, when you're working on these deals, you are working with someone, a client which has been in the sector for 20, 30 years. So the questions which are going to come your way are not going to be superficial. And when you are in those client meetings, you want to be able to answer those questions, not look for a AI based solution in the middle of a meeting, right? So you need to have a basic understanding. Second is this is very critical in the age of AI is the soft skills, right? AI can do the analysis, but the communication, right? The email writing, the way you deal with your clients on the calls, the way you do the expectation management, the way you understand the different stakeholders on a deal. If you're dealing with a CFO, you're dealing with a CEO, and then you're dealing with the deal team, you are presenting to the board. So all of them will have their own nuances and their own views on the deal, right? Now, learning how to navigate all those stakeholders comes under this communication bit, which is the soft skills, right? So this is very important if you want to be in this deal making work is not only to have these technical skills but also have these softer skills on your side, right? You need to have very strong storytelling skills because numbers and narratives go hand in hand. When you are valuing an asset or a company at a certain number, you need to build that narrative and then you need to communicate that narrative to the seller or the buyer, right? Second is your discretion and judgment. When you are doing problem solving, a lot of judgment is required. In services industry, in finance, you are a knowledge worker. Day to day, you are probably taking call on 10, 12, 15 things, right? You are not producing physical goods. You are a knowledge worker. So your decision making skills and your judgment has to develop over a period of time, right? And then curiosity, right? You need to be curious, okay, to learn about different business model. Okay, if you're valuing an airline, obviously it's going to be different from a consumer business, from a bank, from an insurance. So having that curiosity to dive deeper into business models, right? Okay, what is driving? Why is an airline valued a certain way? Why is a bank valued a certain way? Right? So you need to have that natural curiosity to learn about those businesses. Unless you have this natural curiosity, I don't think you can sustain. You can probably have 1 or 2 years, but beyond that, you need to be curious. And then you need to have that ability to connect with people, right? Unless you are able to connect, I don't think you are able to be very good at deal making, right? So these are some of the technical and soft skills which are required to be good in deal making, right? If I look at the interview stage for any finance roles, which we mentioned earlier, I think if I go back, these are different kind of career paths we are talking about, including investment banking, valuation, transaction, etc. If I look at the screening process, I have interviewed probably few thousand people over last 17 years. I was on the let's say campus recruitment panel for VCG, so I have recruited from different top institutes in India. So typically for corporate finance or private equity kind of a role, we are looking for a variety of skills, right? Hard skills, like I mentioned, are important, but communication clarity, right? Attention to details. How are you responding to a feedback if you're solving a case study, right? Those kind of skills we are looking at, and then ownership, stamina. These are different kind of soft skills which you're looking at, right? And usually there are multiple rounds, and every round is designed to test two or three of these buckets. In one round, you cannot test obviously all these 8, 10 things, but I would say multiple rounds, you will undergo multiple tests, right?